That sauce bottle in your fridge door right now, it might be more sugar and salt than tomato. Every week, millions of Aussies squeeze condiments onto lunch and dinner, trusting that a classic label means simple ingredients and real food. But behind those familiar logos and no preservatives claims, there's a reality the condiment industry desperately doesn't want you to see. Sauces thickened into glossy paste, chili sauce that's basically syrup, barbecue sauce sweetened like dessert, and sodium levels that explode your daily limit. We've checked ingredient panels and nutrition numbers across Coles, Woolworths, and IGA. Today we're exposing 10 condiment brands Aussies buy on autopilot. This is the supermarket truth they're hoping you never decode. Brand 10, Heinz Tomato Ketchup. Heinz sits at the bottom of this list because it still resembles food, but only barely. Australians see the red bottle and think tradition, tomatoes, and something simple to put on eggs or chips. That's the promise. Classic, reliable, safe. But look at the ingredient panel. Tomato concentrate is followed immediately by sugar, salt, and vinegar. Translation: this is not crushed tomatoes, it's concentrated paste rebuilt with sweetness and sodium to hit your taste buds hard and fast. The sugar content sits around 25 grams per 100 grams. That's not trivial. That's dessert territory creeping into savory meals. Sodium lands around 800 milligrams per 100 grams, which adds up quickly across a day of eating. Blood pressure does not care that it's just sauce. The marketing focuses on tomatoes because tomatoes sound healthy. What Heinz doesn't highlight is how little of that bottle behaves like a vegetable. At its price point, you're paying for consistency and branding, not purity. Final verdict. Least worst here, but still a sugar and salt delivery system pretending to be tomato sauce. Brand 9, Woolworths Sweet Chili Sauce. Woolworths Sweet Chili Sauce feels harmless because it's cheap, familiar, and usually labelled with reassuring phrases like no artificial preservatives. Aussies use it on everything from spring rolls to chicken wraps, assuming it's a mild chili condiment. Flip the bottle and the illusion collapses. Water and sugar sit right at the top, followed by vinegar, then chili at only a few percent. Translation: this is sugar syrup thickened into a glossy gel with chili added for colour and heat, not substance. Thickeners like 1,422 and 466 are used to give it that clingy, shiny texture. Translation: they help sugar stick to your food so you eat more without noticing how sweet it really is. Regular use trains your palate to expect sweetness with savoury meals, which drives cravings and overeating over time. Kids are especially vulnerable because this sauce tastes more like candy than chili. At a budget price, you are not buying real chili sauce. You're buying sweet glaze. Final verdict. Not dangerous alone, but quietly rewiring taste habits across Australian households. Brand 8. Kewpie Japanese mayonnaise. Kewpie mayonnaise markets itself as premium, indulgent, and different from regular mayo. The soft bottle, Japanese branding, and cult reputation make it feel special, almost artisanal. Many Aussies believe they're upgrading their food by choosing it, but here's what Kewpie doesn't advertise clearly. The base is refined soybean oil, emulsified with egg yolk, vinegar, and flavor enhancer 621. Translation: this is oil engineered to taste richer using added umami, not superior ingredients. That savory punch people love comes partly from monosodium glutamate doing the heavy lifting. Sodium levels hover around 700 milligrams per 100 grams, which matters because mayo is rarely measured when used. High refined oil intake adds calories quickly without satiety, and the sodium quietly stacks toward daily limits, increasing long-term blood pressure risk. The marketing leans on Japanese precision and quality. The reality is industrial formulation designed for maximum flavor impact. At a premium price, you're paying for taste engineering and branding, not cleaner food. Final verdict. Delicious, yes. Nutritionally meaningful, no. Fountain tomato sauce. Fountain is deeply embedded in Australian food culture. Sausage sizzles, backyard barbecues, kids' lunches. The branding leans hard on familiarity and family trust. This is the sauce many Aussies grew up with, so it feels safe by default. But let's talk about what Fountain actually does. The ingredient list follows the same industrial template. Tomato paste, sugar, salt, acidity regulators. Translation, sweetness and sodium are doing the preservation and flavour work, not tomatoes. Sugar levels sit close to 25 grams per 100 grams. Sodium is roughly 800 milligrams per 100 grams. Translation: you are stacking dessert-level sugar and a serious salt hit onto savoury meals without noticing. That combination drives blood sugar spikes followed by crashes, and over time contributes to hypertension risk, especially when used daily by children. Marketing frames Fountain as a classic Aussie staple, but that nostalgia distracts from the nutrition panel. The sauce hasn't evolved with modern health awareness. You are paying for childhood memories and brand loyalty, not improved formulation. Final verdict is this: Fountain is comfort food branding wrapped around sugar and salt, not the wholesome tomato sauce Australians think they're serving. Brand 6, Master Foods Barbecue. Yes, Master Foods barbecue sauce is marketed as bold, smoky, and perfect for grilling. Some variants even highlight reduced salt or reduced sugar, signaling a healthier choice for families trying to be careful. But flip the bottle and check the ingredients list. Tomato paste is followed by sugar, water, glucose syrup, caramel color 150C, and thickeners. Translation: sweetness and coloring are engineered to mimic richness and depth. Sugar content can push close to 30 grams per 100 grams. That is not a side note. That is the core of the product. Translation: barbecue sauce behaving like dessert topping. Regular consumption contributes to blood sugar spikes, increased insulin demand, and long-term metabolic strain, especially when brushed generously on meat or used as a dipping sauce. The marketing sells improvement through reduced claims, but reduced does not mean clean. It means slightly less of a bad starting point. At its mid-range price, you're paying for the promise of better choices without actually getting them. Final verdict is this: Master Foods barbecue sauce is sugar-forward food engineering hiding behind grill culture and selective labeling. Brand 5, Rosella tomato sauce. Rosella trades heavily on heritage, Aussie-owned, no artificial preservatives. It feels like the trustworthy alternative to global giants. Many parents choose it, believing they're making a smarter decision, but look closer at the formulation. Tomato puree, sugar, and salt dominate, with acidity regulators added for stability. Translation: this sauce avoids preservatives by using extreme sodium instead. Sodium levels reach around 1,300 milligrams per 100 grams. Translation: this single condiment can bulldoze a huge portion of your daily salt limit. High sodium intake is directly linked to elevated blood pressure and increased cardiovascular risk. For kids eating this regularly, taste preferences skew salty early in life. The no preservatives claim is technically true, but functionally misleading. Salt and sugar are acting as the preservatives. You are paying for national pride and clean-sounding labels while absorbing one of the saltiest tomato sauces on the shelf. Final verdict is this: Rosella feels virtuous, but nutritionally, it is one of the most deceptive sauces Australians keep trusting. Brand 4, Coles Barbecue. Sauce: Coles' own brand barbecue. Sauce positions itself as affordable and practical. It looks like a harmless budget option for families trying to save money while keeping meals tasty. But here's what the label reveals: water, sugar, tomato paste, vinegar, thickeners, salt, smoke flavor. Translation: a sweetened, thickened liquid designed to taste intense while costing very little to make. Sugar is again front and center, with sodium levels high enough to quietly push daily intake over safe limits when used generously. Translation: cheap ingredients engineered for maximum impact. Health-wise, this combination reinforces cravings for sweet, savory foods and adds unnecessary metabolic stress when consumed regularly. The marketing doesn't shout health, it relies on price and convenience, assuming shoppers won't question the panel. At a low price point, you are still overpaying. Nutritionally, because the cost is shifted onto your health, not the checkout. Final verdict is this: Cole's barbecue sauce is budget-friendly only on paper. In reality, it's another sugar and salt system masquerading as a savory staple. Brand 3, Sweet Baby Ray's Hickory Barbecue Sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's feels indulgent and premium. The thick texture, smoky aroma, and American barbecue branding signal quality and tradition. Many Aussies treat it as a special upgrade for ribs, burgers, and grilled chicken. But here's what Sweet Baby Ray's doesn't advertise. The first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup, followed by more sugars, then tomato paste. Translation: this sauce is built on sugar syrup, not tomatoes or spices. The thickness comes from starches and gums that help sugar cling to meat. Translation: engineered stickiness so you consume more sweetness with every bite. Health-wise, this is where savory meals quietly turn into sugar delivery systems. High fructose corn syrup is strongly linked to insulin resistance and fatty liver risk when consumed regularly. Blood sugar spikes are sharp, followed by crashes that drive more cravings. The smoky flavour distracts you from the fact that this sauce behaves more like dessert topping than a condiment. At around $7 to $8 a bottle, you are paying premium prices for corn syrup dressed up as barbecue tradition. Final verdict is: Sweet Baby Ray's is candy sauce wearing a cowboy hat, and it has no place in a daily Australian diet. Brand 2, Lee Kum Kee Sweet Chili Sauce. Lee Kum Kee has strong credibility. The brand is trusted for Asian sauces, and many Aussies assume authenticity equals better ingredients. Sweet chili from an Asian brand feels safer than supermarket own label versions, but flip the bottle and read carefully. Sugar and water lead the list, with chili appearing much later. Translation: sweetness is the foundation. Chili is an accent. Thickeners and stabilizers create that glossy, sticky finish. Translation: sugar is engineered to coat food evenly, increasing consumption without satiety. This kind of sauce trains the palate to expect sugar, with savory dishes especially dangerous for kids whose taste preferences are still forming. Regular intake contributes to excess sugar consumption and increases long-term metabolic risk. Marketing leans on heritage and authenticity, but sweetness at this level has nothing to do with traditional cooking. It's a globalized, mass-market formulation. Priced mid-range, you are paying for brand trust while getting the same sugar-first profile as cheaper alternatives. Final verdict is: Lee Kum Kee Sweet Chili trades on cultural credibility to sell syrupy glaze disguised as authentic sauce. Brand 1, Kraft Barbecue Sauce. Kraft Barbecue sauce represents the worst of the condiment aisle. It looks familiar, trusted, and harmless, especially to families who associate Kraft with everyday staples. But look at what it actually is: sugar, glucose syrup, tomato paste, water, salt, flavorings, colors. Translation: a chemical sweet savory system designed for shelf life and repeat consumption. Multiple sugar sources stack sweetness, while salt sharpens flavor. Translation: maximum dopamine hit with minimal real food content. Health consequences are cumulative. Regular use adds significant free sugars and sodium to meals, increasing risks of obesity, high blood pressure, and insulin resistance over time. Kids consuming this early learn to associate savory food with sugar. Marketing relies on comfort and nostalgia, not transparency. Kraft does not need to sell quality, it sells familiarity. At its price point, You are paying for industrial food engineering perfected over decades, not nourishment. Final verdict is Kraft barbecue sauce is the clearest example of a fake condiment, a sugar and salt delivery system that Australians mistake for a harmless topping. The condiment aisle looks harmless because it's been normalized. Sugar, salt, thickeners, flavor enhancers, all justified in the name of convenience and shelf life. Translation: profit comes first, your health comes second. Decades ago, sauces were simple. Tomatoes, vinegar, spices, they spoiled faster because they were real. Today's versions last months because they're engineered. Stack these condiments daily and you stack blood pressure risk, blood sugar spikes, and long-term metabolic damage. Especially for kids, you don't need perfection, you need awareness. Read labels, avoid sugar-first sauces, choose fewer ingredients. Your meals matter, your family's health matters more than squeezing flavor out of a plastic bottle.